Hey guys, how you doing? My name is CODENAMEBIGBEAR, or Stuart if you want to call me by my first name. Today we're going to be playing Alan Wake, and we're going to be playing throughout the entirety of the whole game of Alan Wake, including its DLC, and also the Cody Rhodes game, American Nightmare. That is a wrestling joke, I will say often, because I find it quite funny. Alan Wake's American Nightmare, or Alan Wake's Cody Rhodes. So we're going to be playing through these games now. You see the stat screen that's on there right now. This is what I played through on probably my third or fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, whichever playthrough I've done of Alan Wake. And you see there's only two things I haven't done on this particular playthrough, and that's find two pyramid cans. We're not going to be looking for those at all in any way, shape, or form. We're just going to continue playing on. I have 100% of this game many times. I've got it on the PlayStation 5. I've got it on the Xbox 360. Multiple copies of Xbox 360. Multiple copies of PC. I don't have Alan Wake Remastered on the Xbox Series 1S. I thought I did. Apparently I don't. But I do have it on the Switch, which we're not going to be playing because it's a bad version. What we're going to do is, it's going to be long form, like I say, guys. We're going to be going through all the main games. We're going to do a new game. We're going to start on just a normal, because it can't be asked to mess about. We're not going to find any, or find all the pages and stuff. If I ever want to go through all the pages and stuff with you, I can literally go to extras and go to playback, I think it is. Cinematic manuscripts. I think there's the manuscripts. And as you can see, I have them all. You can see I've got them all there, so we can go through a few of these, and we will do for some theory talk later on. I'm intending to get all this done by the time hang on, I can even show you something as well. So look, I can even show you that I've got all the achievements as well, all the achievements there, see, and also have the awards to go with it as well. Yeah, so I'm intending to get this done by Alan Wake 2. It's probably not going to be done, but even then I'm going to continue these videos once that is done, so we can kind of go through some theory stuff. Now, there's a few things I want to talk about when it comes to Alan Wake in general. I've read the novel, I've read the strategy guide and all that kind of stuff. There's some bits I'll point out if I can remember them off the top of my head. Other times we might go back and we'll go through certain parts of the game, and I'll do a whole big edit and do a proper full-blown theory talk when it comes to it as well. But the reason I want to watch some of the cutscenes, there's one in particular cutscene that has a moment in it which I don't think is talked about at all. Also, as well, as we're going through this game as well, there's QR codes that do turn up. I will scan those and I'll chuck them into the edit, so we can actually see those going on as well, which is quite cool. Now, one thing I love about Alan Wake is this. Like, straight away, the guy is like, yeah, I'm a writer, I'm a horror writer, I know I'm a writer, and it's all this kind of stuff, and it starts off with a dream, blah, 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 and it's very pulpy and great, and I love it, and it's just so fun. This is my favourite game of all time. I am wearing, currently, hang on, look at that, look, my Alan Wake t-shirt, which, there you go, Alan Wake, which Luke bought for me. Thank you, Luke, love you, really appreciate it. I am going to be wearing this throughout the entire Alan Wake playthrough, so I'm going to get it cleaned all the time. But we're going to do the best to do this. So, he's hit a hitchhiker. Oh no, and he's in an Oldsmobile by the looks of it as well. If you don't know the significance of an Oldsmobile, you need to watch any Sam Raimi movie. Look at that. That's Ash's car from Evil Dead. So, what is it? His car? I don't think it's actually him driving in the original. It's not. So it's not actually his car. But still, it becomes his car. Let's put it that way. And, yeah. We have that. Now, obviously, we are playing the original version. The graphics aren't as amazing, but it's still really good to look at. This is a good-looking game. No matter what, even on the Switch, it's not that bad. It's just it could perform way better. I could hardly stand. Really would like it to perform way better, to be honest. But also, when that thermos reverse your controls, no. When the thermos eventually releases, there's the brick wall.
I was certain I had just driven from this direction.
When the thermos releases, I'm going to buy that thermos. When the game releases, I just want it. I want it so badly. I'll pay lots of money for that. But after I finish my playthrough here, which may be about an hour and a half, I'm going to go for the whole first chapter. I am going to basically see if I can purchase that thermos, because I really want it, and I really hope it's not a joke. There was another collectible that's out there somewhere, right, which is
the bridge had collapsed.
Which is a flashlight that has Alan Wake and scrawled down to it. It's a torch that's got Alan Wake and scrawled onto it. And actually, the QR code is coming up just a second. Let's see if we can get it here for you right now. Is it there? No, it's not there. It's alright, ignore him for a second, you'll be fine.
You don't even recognize me.
Nope, it's not there.
Ryder? You think you're God? You think you can just make up stuff? Play with people's lives and kill them when you think it adds
Oh,
to the
okay, yeah, he's
drama?
definitely gonna kill me. Okay, cool. Right, I've gotta go. There's a QR code that pops up in the first part of the game. And I can't remember where. Oh, there it is. That's where the QR code is. There we go. It's not a very good QR code, is it? I'm not even sure if we can scan this one anymore. I don't think you can. Well, that's a shame. Well, I will find the original QR code things, and I'll edit them in, and we'll watch them together and stuff as well. And I'll record myself watching them at the same time, because I am actually interested in what they are. I have seen them. I can't remember what it did. They take you to certain websites. I know that much. And we'll do the same for when the we'll do the same. I'll watch the QR code versions for the appropriate times for the Alan Wake remaster as well. So what's actually different? And from what I understand, it is actually just the same. Oh crap!
I realized that the hitchhiker was a character from the story
Cool.
I've been.
It is the same kind of clips you see that is in Control, from what I understand. So yeah, we'll kind of go from there as well. I'm sad that your didn't actually work. Okay. Yeah. One service people tend to miss as well is coming up quite soon, which I'll just show you where it is, because I've definitely picked it up in the game since. There is a service that's usually around that people just kind of miss, and it's easy to miss. It's one of the earliest ones you can find. Oh, and then Clay Stewart here. Oh, he's a nothing character in this game, but he has a whole thing. There's a whole thing. There's an attachment book that comes with the collector's edition of the original game. And basically, this guy here, Clay, is investigating. He comes to Bright Falls after the whole game, and he investigates.
Wait, Clay Stewart, remember?
No, you don't, because he's dreaming. He has no idea. But Clay comes to Bright Falls after the events of what's happening in this game, and he writes a whole thing about it. He interviews people, and he gives you kind of a little bit of insight to the characters and what happens to them afterwards. But even then, like, tells you nothing. Like, it tells you nothing, but it gives you so much. Like, it tells you about, like, a bit more about Nightingale and his whole deal. It gives you a bit more about Rose and her deal. No, I can't sort that out. I'm not bloody working today. Get that. Yeah, and their whole deal. And in fact, I'm going to do a whole video going through all that as well at some point, right? Because there's so much Alan Wake stuff I want to talk about. And the fact that there's no... That these posters change as well. This is a different poster in the new version of the game as well. There's so much lore to this game that you can talk about it for hours and hours and hours. There's so much stuff they put into it. This game clearly had inspirations all over the place. Alone in the Dark is one of the things I'd like to say it's kind of slightly inspired by. Definitely Twilight Zone. Well, now we've been playing Twilight Zone. I was actually at one point for Spooky Times. It's Spooky Times here respawning. I've got it on VR. And there's just so much stuff we can talk about with this. The fact that you got all the extra media, you got the different things that change within the book, the novels, and a few things I can remember, to be honest. I'm going to be honest there, I don't remember much. And who the fuck is Tom? I think, now, okay, I'm going to pause it. Actually, no, I'm going to continue on. Now, I think Tom here, Tom the diver, this man right here, yeah? I said before, I was speaking to Luke about Alan Wake and how much I love it, and he kind of started playing the game because he knew that the DLC was coming out for Control. The AWE DLC was coming out for Control, right? And we're talking to him about it, and I was like, mate, honestly, I think that Tom, and I have thought about this for years, is Alan. Okay? So Alan is Tom. That's what it is. They're a paradoxical. They're paradoxical. In fact, even a little bit later on in the DLC, you even get a whole bit about it. They're completely paradoxical. Without Tom, there wouldn't be no Alan. Without Alan, there wouldn't be no Tom. Those kind of things. Because obviously he wrote himself out, and he's loopholed himself back in. Yeah. So For shores I've been, for ports I've been. Yeah, no one understands. It's a fucking weird little rhyme. But I know that in the AWE DLC Control, to change up Tom's backstory to a filmmaker instead of a poet. And I think that the reason he was a poet was written into it that way is so Alan could actually have a better understanding, or reason he becomes a film writer, so he can have a better understanding of how things work. Because poetry isn't Alan's strong point. However, film and TV is. So maybe there's something to do with that. We'll watch the whole. I'll go through the clips and I'll get better information on that on myself. I need to play the game.
You can't hurt him now. The darkness protects him from all
harm. But yeah, I don't really understand kind of what's going on there. But Tom, I think he wrote Alan into existence by writing a segment later on in the game. That even like, hey, why did you write that about me? It's, oh, I needed an out. I needed the clicker. Blah blah blah. And also we've got Energizer batteries as well. I needed an out. I needed the clicker, and I needed you to have it. So, oh look, there's. I bet that's one of the two I've missed. Oh, I'll check that in a minute. In fact, actually, hang on. Let's just let's go first. Go to this guy, and then.
Good. You've done well.
And I'll do that. Yeah, and he's like, and Tom has no idea why he's done it. It's because Alan has written the story. He's this whole bit. He's rewritten it for himself. Even his memories are kind of changed slightly because he has the ability to change everything that's going on. When he says, "Oh, they turned it into a horror story," it's because Alan wanted to. Yeah, look, just save that. So I think that's actually true. I think I actually found that one because he wanted to write something he's more comfortable with, which makes sense, right? It makes all the sense in the world. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he do something like that? And then for Tom to exist, he had to have existed. But everyone says he looks like Tom. Everyone calls him Tom. Everyone who knew Thomas Zane calls him Tom, including the Anderson brothers, even Cynthia Weaver, who had a proper thing for Tom, like a proper thing for him, says, "Oh, you look kind of like Tom." It's down here, by the way. This is where the thermos is. You go down here, and the thermos is usually at the end, somewhere about here. So you miss it, you're playing a game, grab that thermos, okay? But yeah, even Cynthia, who had a proper thing for him, even says he looks like him. You know, it's a weird thing, and I that's the whole point of that plot point, right? It's the whole point. Sam Lake has done that to make us think that. Why wouldn't he do that? Go. Also, when you play this game, don't not use your flares and shit. Use them for big crowds if you can, but don't not use them. Use them. They can be really helpful. And if I go to this one, yeah, can't do anything to what's coming up. How long have I been playing?
I can keep this up.
13 minutes? Okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be long form anyway, so we're going about an hour or so. Right, it's time to run. There is a thermos at the end here, but you can't find it anyway. And, oh shit. And, yeah, so, you know, Tom is an interesting character. I don't understand. Well, there's lots of things I don't understand about him. Well, lots of people don't understand about him. Like I say, he's a mystery. Even the fact that the main character in Control, I can't remember her name to save my life, even she remembers poetry by Tom. She had it in a shoebox, is where she kept her books, and she had those books. But then obviously no one has any recollection of those. So it just kind of seems like it's like, oh yeah, it was just kind of like, oh, your local mate, that was it. Your local, like a local old guy wrote these poems and he self-published a book, that kind of thing. That's kind of how it comes across. But then obviously in terms of being a filmmaker and all that kind of jazz happening there as well. Anyway, also as well, Tom writes in Mr. Scratch. We'll get to that at the end of the game. He writes in Mr. Scratch, and it looks exactly like Alan. And then Mr. Scratch is a nasty bloke, and it's like Alan's dark side, obviously. And it's all kind of thing. Oh, can we skip this? We need to see this one. No, he's just gonna wake up, guys. He's just gonna wake up. We're gonna skip that, okay? It's fine. We've got to deal with all this.
Baby,
we are heading into Bright Falls.
Everything's fine.
Do I
He
need
dozed
to
off.
anything here I want to talk about? I don't think there
Anything
is
more than
really, to
dozed
be
off
honest.
would be news for everyone.
But hey, we'll see. The faces look a bit
Cheer up,
janky, but
handsome. We're
I never
here.
really bothered me. People say, oh, they look plastic, and yeah, it's a video game. Who cares? But yeah, and the whole Thomas Zane thing is just, there's so much there that they can go into, and I really hope they really go into it for Alan Wake 2, and I really hope they reveal that is what's happened. That's a parody, is a paradox thing. That without them, they wouldn't exist each other. Because obviously, Alan's able to like manipulate the surroundings of what's around him. He can't change history, but he can manipulate truths within the history. You know, certain things can be manipulated throughout the entire thing. Hence, you know, oh hey, no, I've written this thing into existence because it's happening in the future. Because he's written it all, he knows it's happening, so he knows he can write and change that. But also, he has to deal with things. So in Departure, right? Let's work it this way. In Departure,
Let's act like we're on vacation.
which is the book that he has written throughout this entire game. He has to, like, he has to write in him arriving to Rifles. Has to arrive in Rifles. Has to happen. So anything that happens there, it needs to kind of happen as it happens. You can talk about this nightmare and stuff. That could be a made-up thing. Oh, that's nice. And then anything that's happened with DFS and stuff, and anything that happens afterwards as well. He kind of like, you know, that's the aftermath of him not being able to write and focus on that one, because now he's focusing on the return, which is what American Nightmare is basically. That's the return. Also, the fact I call it Cody Rhodes after Cody Rhodes returned to WWE last year or this year, no, last year, is just perfect. It's the return of Cody Rhodes.
In fact,
but yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, and I love it. I just love all the theory stuff. I love like, seeing things. Going, oh, what about this? Maybe this is going to have an effect later on. Maybe this is going to happen. Maybe this is going to do this and this when it comes to what's happening in the story. And thinking about what Sam Lake's going to do, he's had 10 years to change the story. He's changed the game from what could have been a full-blown. Oh, Barry, okay, I love Barry so much. He better return as well. If Barry doesn't return, I'm going to be really upset. But full-blown, like, horror, a survival horror game, which is so cool, and they're doing new stuff. And the fact that Control and Quantum Break are two games that are essentially Alan Wake sequels. That's what they were supposed to be, Alan Wake sequels. But because Alan Wake didn't do too well, they went to Quantum Break and decided to kind of go on the TV route a bit more that way. And then Control, obviously, you know, again, has Alan Wake stuff that they're still getting about the rights, and eventually they got the rights, and they're doing the game again, which is so good.
I can always turn off the phone.
What did I tell you?
This isn't
Text message
our
from
car. I
Barry.
just realised that.
He says hi to you too.
I just assumed that was the car. I know it's saying just realised that. Much as I've never really noticed it because I'm always talking about it now.
Let's get back to the car.
This is our car, but that's the car from the dream, which is his car down there. Huh. Would you look? Oh, it's his car. I think the old man has the Oldsmobile. Right, let's leave the ferry. Okay, cool. Right. A lot of shit in Alan Wake is clearly inspired by Twin Peaks. Clearly inspired by Twin Peaks. So much of it. This diner, for one. I might have to mute Coconut. I might not even play Coconut. We'll see. I'll do it. We'll see if there's any kind of copyright restrictions when I do it, when I upload it initially. If there is, I'll go in and re-edit and cut things about. Like I say, this is all long form, no cuts or anything like that at all. The Oh Dear Diner is straight up out of Twin Peaks, and that's a good thing. Because Twin Peaks, if you've never seen it, please watch it. I said to Luke he should watch it after he started playing Alan Wake, and then he started watching going, holy shit, there is so much. So much. So if you like this game, if you enjoy this game, oh, there's the janky faces. I see it. There I see it. Okay, fine, fair. Let's skip this a second, guys. Deal with that one. Okay, cool. Also, the damn fine coffee thing that's there.
So much from the bookstore
when they took it out of the window.
Yep, cool. No worries.
Here. Well, okay.
And then you got Tor and Anderson. You got these guys. Tor Anderson and thing. If you don't, do you disappoint them? I think you do. Oh, let's play it. Ah, not Coconut again. These two. So these two, right? He's already called him Tom. Is he already called him Tom?
Bad circulation. Yeah. serious? Coconut again? You disgust me. Call
I hope
yourself a
these guys
rocker.
return in Alan Wake 2. I
Unbelievable.
really do. They're so good. I'm pretty sure they die though. Let's do it.
You put the lime in the coconut, drink them both up.
Just because we're brothers, don't think I won't murder
Also, these
you.
guys
It
own
does that.
the
Let's
greatest farm
start.
ever.
Yeah, you
Yeah, give it a
need
good
to
solid
give it
whack. Alright,
good
cool. And it teaches you how to do that.
hard whack.
Boom.
Yes, that's my favorite tune. Coconut. Now that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
This is it. I've died and gone to hell.
Oh, mate, you may have, to be honest. I swear one of them called you Tom, or was it Sonny? They both fall asleep later, so I don't really know. Alright, let's ignore it. Cool, no worries. And Cynthia Weaver, she's the log lady. She's straight up the log lady. So let's just go down here. Yeah, I'm gonna go out myself in the dark. And alright, so here's another thing, right? Here's another thing why I think that Mr. Scratch potentially is Tom, or why I think Alan is Tom, because Mr. Scratch. Mr. Scratch is a big part of this theory.
Mr. Stucky?
Because there is a whole thing where
couldn't make it. Unfortunately,
Thomas Zane cuts
But I
out
have been
the
fulfilling
heart.
instructions on
By
how
the way,
to get to the
spoilers.
lake.
Cuts out the heart
Okay.
I wish you
of
would stay at the cabin. I'll come by
God,
later
what's
to
her
check
name?
how you've settled in.
of his
And to meet your
beloved,
wife.
which is this lady here, right? Because she's
insist.
pure evil and he tries to stop her, which is the whole thing.
Thanks.
Is that it was all in the game, blah 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 blah. Again, if you haven't played this game, why are you here? Like, I'm going to be spoiling loads of shit. Yeah. So cuts out her
Cauldron
heart and stuff.
Lake
You
is
can't
a
see it there,
special
obviously.
place.
But that's because the whole
Very
point is the Dark
inspiring.
Place doing its thing. All about Cauldron Lake. But yeah, and he's obviously got murderous tendencies. He sees somebody who's alive, and he's like, "Well, I'm just going to kill you." So he cuts out her heart, and she still lives. So you know,
You
which
got
is
lucky this
fucked.
time, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
Yeah, which is absolutely fucked. Like, you know, so if Mr. Scratch returns and goes on a murderous
I haven't seen
rampage,
her leave, but the
not
old lady
surprised
was
if
gone.
it's Tom. If he's Tom. And Alan is killing people throughout this entire game. He is. Yes, it's all self-defense, but he is actually killing people. They do disappear. They don't exist anymore.
Even that sounds better than your singing.
Are you alright?
Splendid.
And it just kind of, you
Swells
know,
up like a balloon if I lift it.
makes me think again
Heavier
that
than
Tom
a
isn't
boat.
exactly all there. He's kind of doing it. Yeah, there you go. Been a long time, Tom.
It's been a long time. Oh, good to see
Right
you.
there.
Hey,
Calls him Tom.
you wouldn't happen to have a bottle on you, would you, Tom?
And he calls him Tom. They both call him Tom because he looks like Thomas Zane. They remember him because they were with him. They knew him. Cynthia was with him. She knew him. And because they were so ingrained and you can't erase him completely, they remember all that love and all that story. And people just kind of forget a lot of what's happened. Yes, he doesn't exist. Like, you know, there's so much stuff going on there. They remember what he looked like. Therefore, he's Tom. He's Thomas Zane. He just is. He has to be. Thomas Zane ain't a good guy, though.
The
No way.
Andersons, they're local musicians.
And they remember as well because they've been drinking all that moonshine they made with all the dark presence stuff in it, and they remember all of that shit going on, which is why they're absolutely fucked. Poor old Stucky here, man. Like he gets done in.
The key and the directions.
My hero. I got some flashlights, just in case.
Hey, wait!
Hey, wait! Wait!
Your keys!
We're gonna get to it though. Hang on.
That diner was a real nut house.
Can you believe this place? This would make a
Now,
wonderful
one bit in the
setting for
book,
a
in the novel,
supposed
is
to
actually
be on
whilst they're
vacation
driving
house.
to the cabin on
We'll
Lake
figure it
now,
out when we get back
they
home.
come across
Okay.
something you do find in the game,
Okay.
which is a
We can
pickup
talk
truck
about
or
this
a nice convertible, whatever it is, that has a tree growing through it, and it just
I
seems to be in the
didn't
middle
wanna
of the
talk about
woods.
it.
I'm
I
not
wanted
sure
to
how
bury
it
my
gets.
head in
Obviously,
sand.
foreshadowing. Well, the tornado was so
Once
earlier,
upon a
essentially.
time, I was
That
a
they go in
successful
investigate, they
writer,
have a
but
look,
that
like
was a
how the hell
long
did it?
time
The
ago.
axles are busted,
I
the
haven't
tires
been
are
able to
popped, and
write
there's
a word
trees
in
just
2
growing
years.
through it. Other than
That's
that, it
just
looks
my
perfect.
last
There's no
book.
way to get this in here. How did it get there? And it's a really lovely moment of them just kind of investigating the new area, and it also kind of reiterates that she's like, oh shit, we should actually really get going. It is getting dark. I am terrified of the dark. Now, Cauldron Lake. Beautiful thing. Right, I'm gonna... again, I'm not entirely sure. I have no idea if it's actually going to catch anything. Or maybe I'll keep on talking over it or stop it. I'm not going to run back up the thing, get the view, because screw that. Can't be asked with it. Just carry on and continue playing the game. But also as well, there is an actual... So you can do that, obviously. Wow, it's gorgeous, Alan. Yeah, cool.
It's something, all right.
And yeah, look at that. It's
I'll get you
lovely. Look
inside
how
safe and
nice it is.
sound
Yeah, it's a
before it
bit
gets dark.
jagged there,
And I've
but
got
like,
the flashlight.
it's a really good looking game. All these crows, obviously, all like...
Alice-phobia. The fear
They're
of
later on in the game
darkness.
as well. They're
I wanted to
about...
make sure we were inside with
It
the
looks like
lights on before
Amityville.
sunset.
I've actually never clocked onto that before, but it does look like the Amityville house right there. That's kind of fun. It's obviously a homage to it. The whole cabin is a homage to Evil Dead, essentially, as well, like, without really being a homage. But this... No, not the axe. No, where is it? There is a stump somewhere. Where's it gone? Where is it? Must be here on this tree. Nope.
Alice had told me about Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Yep.
The old building used to be a hotel,
Hartman,
but these
what an
days
ass.
it was no longer open to the public.
Now, I found out what the DLC for AWE is. Luke told me. And I'm very excited to play it now. Oh, there it is. That's where it is. Okay, cool. So if I go here...
The island had once been the site for a love story. Maybe it would be that again.
Yes, look at that. That's E and B? No. What? Oh, E and Z. No. What the fuck does that even say? Huh. Right. So that is Thomas Zane and his beloved's thing. I can't remember her name. Why can't I remember her name? There was a whole thing about it, but basically they carved their name into it. This is the cabin of Thomas Zane lost his life. Or so we think.
An old generator had been connected to the power cable.
And there's a whole thing. Oh, it's not even a whole thing. In there, in there, Barbara Jagger. Barbara Jagger, that's her name. Bloody hell. Okay. So it's a B and a Z. Or a B. Oh, what the hell is it? Oh, yeah, whatever, we're going in. So it must be a B and a Z. Zane and J or whatever. It doesn't matter. Barbara Jagger. But,
I could rest here.
but, so... There's a whole thing in the book, like he sees this, he's it's a love story. I must remember to check that out, I must research it later. Later on in the thing, he tells Barry to actually research it. It's like there was these initials, can you look into it? So he does. Oh, it's a T and it's just some scratches there. That says T and B. That's not an E, it's just a weird render on it. Tom and Barbara, or TZ and BJ. But yeah. So there's this whole thing there, where,
Alice?
like I say, he goes into
Honey?
it. One thing I absolutely love are these radio stations. We're not going to listen to radio stations, so they do take a while. And I want to just kind of get through the game. There's some nice things in the radio station. It talks about a dog going missing at one point, and later on you find that dog, which is really nice. Also, this, like, he's actually like, hey, got a surprise for you. See some jeans on the side. Like, Alan's gonna get some. He's like, hello there.
I'm not the surprise. It's in the study. Go
He's
take
like,
a look.
son of a bitch. Fine, I'll go to the study. Ugh. And he goes through and it's a fucking typewriter.
Surprise.
He's livid about it. Now, this goes into the theory that I mentioned really early on in the video. One thing that I really think people miss out on so much. And I'll get to it in just a second properly.
I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here.
And again, what I will do as well is I'll point out, and at the end of the video, I should be able to.
That's not.
So we've got an hour to get through it. Oh, also, yeah, at this point, she literally can't see him. She's completely. She was taken to the dark place then. So Jagger turned up there as well. He can see her fine because he's not in the dark place just yet. She's kind of been worked on a little bit. But this is such a dick move, right? And then he trips. This is it. So when he trips, why does he trip? He fell on nothing. But look how far down the far down the thing he is? He's right by the diver's aisle sign, and he fell over there. Why? That is roughly where the bridge, the remainder of the bridge is, right? Before it goes into the lake properly. So, my theory is, and I'm going to have to, really talk you through this. My theory is that where he trips, which is about here, which is where the bridge falls into the ocean, or falls into the lake, is where the dark place is cutting off. Now, at the time, they didn't need to do anything. He was already in there. Right? So the dark place is all like, yeah, man, we've got Alan. It's all good. Get rid of them. Oh, shit. We got Alan. We don't need him. And then he has his argument, and she makes him storm off. So he throws a hissy fit. So when he trips, the dark place realizes that Alan's not there, and then immediately starts kidnapping Alice, starts fucking her around, and then starts to take her away. Immediately to get him back in the cabin, because if he leaves that cabin, they can't do what they need to do. And now she's in the ocean, and now they got him. Right? And nobody thinks about it. Tripping over that piece triggered everything. Everything. Absolutely everything. And again, later on, when we see the final cutscene for this particular episode, you will see where the bridge breaks off. And then in the game, I'll show you it again. But yeah, it triggers everything for this. Because he dives into the lake, and then Barbara Jagg's like, okay, cool, right, wicked. Well, we've got you now. They obviously drops the cabin back into the lake and everything else, which is obviously nuts, insane, but ghostly things happen. And now he's here. Also, the book explains kind of how he loses all his weapons and shit throughout the entire game, which is quite good.
All I knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot.
Okay, cool. But that's my theory. It's something no one ever picks up. I did actually tweet at Sam Lake about it.
The creator's
oh god, I hate him.
By Dr. Emil Hartman.
Look at his face.
The book,
and he never got back, which is fair. I'm a nobody, so why would
I didn't like the guy's smug face
but I feel like had something there, like something he could have gone. Yeah, man, that's exactly it. That'd be really nice. I really hope they kind of pull that one. I'm going to talk about this little theory all the time until somebody confirms it. But I've watched so many Alan Wake analysis videos. I've watched so many like playthroughs. I've watched all sorts of shit about Alan Wake, and no one ever thinks about it and ever points out. Like literally, this will be the first, I think, properly recorded version of it that's going to be online that I can actually genuinely find about what happens and why he trips up, because no one ever mentions it. Not one person, and he just fucking falls. For no reason. They just find it funny. It's like he's just always angry, so he lost his footing. No! Dark place. The dark presence tripped him. And it tripped him to get him back into the cabin. Because once he went over, he was in the real world. He was in our world at that point then. And then like, oh, he's left. He's not here anymore. So, kidnap Alice? Kidnap Alice? Yeah, kidnap Alice. Either way, Alice is going to be taken as a hostage. Either way, that was a guarantee.
Remember writing it.
But they didn't have to wait as long. He could have immediately overnight, whatever, something could have happened. But they had to force it in that way. That's what's happening there. I am not going to do any of the manuscripts, okay? Don't need to. This is how I'm playing the game. Also, if you're running, hop. Do this. It means he keeps on.
Anybody there?
See that?
Please, I've been in an accident.
Oh, now I'm angry. I can't walk anywhere. But if I hop, I got a little speed. Hop, got a little bit more speed. Hop, got a little bit more speed. It's not foolproof, but it works.
The lights up ahead were a good sign. Maybe I wouldn't have to hike all the way down to the gas station to find a phone.
You're gonna have to, bud. Sorry. And over we go. Oh, there's a whole bit about the book in the book about this as well. It's really well written. Man, like if you can find the book and read it, give it a go. It's by an author named Rick Burrows. If you like the game, read it. Like it's really good. Like it's a bit pulpy, but it has manuscript pages which aren't in here, which are in the cast in the Clay Stewart book, which kind of focuses on little bits and bobs about the in-game universe. Like Alan kind of writes about things that go missing, about the dog that goes missing, for instance. About kind of random hikers that have gone missing as well. And it's just a really, really good time. It's one of the first books I've read cover to cover for a long ass time, to be honest. Let's get out of here, Stu. Okay, and then immediately, The Shining.
I had to figure a way out of this. Any second now, and Stucky would be knocking on the door with his axe.
Also,
like
we have
Nicholson
the
in
Energizer
Shining.
batteries and the Energizer flashlight. There it is. I love it. It's one bit of advertising I kind of wish they had still. We picked up a gun. We picked up some batteries. And we're going to pick up some bullets whilst we're in here as well. What's quite cool is this map that's on the wall. Well, the glare is actually the map that we're going to use for the open world version of the game as well. Which obviously would have been lovely. But, you know, they didn't.
Yes.
Bright Falls Sheriff Station. Homie,
Okay, so we're gonna kill some shit. There it is, done. Alright, let's get out of here.
This is bad.
It's real bad. I hate this. I kind of wish I read the book again before I start playing, but I didn't have time. But hopefully by the next episode, what I'll do is I'll have read like big chunks of the art book and everything else as well.
There were more of them.
Oh, it goes into like his I've never shot anybody
My
thing,
head pounded with a concussion.
which is
I'd never
good.
fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone. Or something. There were no bodies. They just disappeared. If I was dreaming, it felt real enough to make me sick.
Also, I really want a tattoo of the torches here as well.
Eerie
I really want a
hand-painted
tattoo of
graffiti
this.
was revealed by my flashlight.
But, you know,
someone had hidden a chest of
I'll get
supplies
it one day.
near it.
Turn that on. Go over here.
The Dark Forest was the last place I wanted to go, but I had no choice.
Had no
I had to
choice.
get to the gas station.
There's also some theories and stuff a little bit later on when it comes to the Anderson farm. One in particular, there's one in particular I want to get to. We will get there obviously, but it's like another couple of chapters away yet, so we're not going to get there just yet. But there's reasons for it. Oh god, I've just automatically gone and grabbed this thing. I didn't even want to go grab them all. I just wanted to continue on a path and continue on where I need to go. Sometimes I will go off and veer off and get some weapons and stuff, which you kind of need to. But yeah. Love it, absolutely love it.
What the hell was that?
What the hell was that? Right, so.
When I saw the river below, something uncoiled itself inside my head. I realized that I'd have to find a way across. I didn't even want to look at the water.
I'm not going to get the thing. There is a thermos on these rocks as well, so, you know, check them out. I'm not going to go get them. I'm not going to go get the manuscript, because, again, I don't want to. But I am going to go veer off and take a left at the end of this bit to go get some more weapons. Because the flare gun's going to be real helpful later on. I'm not going to go that way. Go this way. Wow, that's Stucky doing his thing.
I want something special to eat.
Stucky was still out there, in the dark, stalking me.
So that please, thank you. Also, a great thing is, well, you can see your points that you want to go to. That's the gas station over there. Which is just so good. Like, the game design is so good. Fat, actually. Go here a second. And then boom! Done. Makes your life easier. Really, really does. There is a... Right. It's not just here yet, but I've got to get up on these rocks first. Okay, cool. Good jump. Yep. See that? Take a left. But absolutely. Always go for these weapons. Sometimes it might be a little bit more difficult than you want it to be, but go for these weapons. It's worth it, I promise you. You can get so much more help doing it. Shouldn't be too far away. I am just kind of running through this game at the moment. So hopefully within the next 20 minutes or so, we should be actually finished. Pick up lithium batteries. Oh, it's all lithium batteries? Ah, that was annoying. Okay, cool. That actually wasn't worth it. I'm sorry, guys. But I mean, this game is just so good. I can't stress enough how much fun this game is, how good the story is. We're not going to watch all the cutscenes, blah, blah, like I said, but we're going to do what we can at least and just have some fun with it. And again, any theories I can think of, I will talk to you about them. I'll do my best. Oh no, I've kind of fucked myself a little bit. I just remembered.
The staircase was broken.
Yeah.
I had to make my way up some other way.
Ooh, it's a bit blurry, that, isn't it? I never noticed that before. Fair enough. Open that. Revolver ammo. Right, so... Oh.
There was no power. There was bound to be a generator somewhere at the logging
you go to
site.
that little thing. You can... If you're quick enough, I think you can actually... No, you can't. Okay, cool. I like. You know, you can't do it. If you have this flare gun, obviously you're gonna get rid of those guys pretty easily. But I was like, oh, if you're quick enough, you can do this. But you can't. I'm gonna get a shotgun now though, which is good. How far away are we? What more have we got to do before we get to the end of this chapter? Manage your page. Really want that's what I want. There we go. Right, there's a bigger guy coming up, which is way more helpful with the shotgun. But is there any ammo kind of about? There is a bit. This guy's gonna come out here as well, I think. Correctly. Nope. Yeah, I'm kind of taking a wrong turn here, haven't I? Yeah, we go. That's not what I want to go. Down here. So yeah, I kind of wish I read the book again, but next time I'll be playing this game, I would have gone through some of the art books and even the strategy guide and kind of gone through some bits about there. I'll tell you about it. Obviously, what I want to do really is do a full-blown edit and show you all of that stuff as well at the same time. What I really want to do is have a podcast with myself and Luke discussing this stuff. But unfortunately, we just don't have time to do it at all. We're always crossing paths when it comes to work. Which means there's just a problem. We can't really see each other. That's more shotgun out. Perfect. You can do that one. So this is the one that tells you about the dog, at least.
I was just outside for a
But yeah,
breath of
screw that.
fresh air.
Oh, hello.
What a night.
Hello.
I know most of you are probably in your beds by now, but if you're still up and around, take a
Hello. Here we go. Perfect. Thank you. Weird weapons.
The sky is crystal clear. It's like the forest is quietly breathing along.
No worries. Right, cool. Let's keep on going.
Listeners know.
Yeah, I wanted to do a podcast with Luke about this, but we keep on missing all our time together. It's just one of those. We just don't have time to do it. Which is a shitter, really, because I'd love to have got it done before Alan Wake 2 come out. We've been planning it for years, and honestly, it just never happens. Life getting in the way, essentially. And the fact that Luke only really has certain evenings that are free, and it depends on the babby. Yes. Why am I going for this? Oh, this is what I was going for. This is the right way to go. That perfect, right? And yeah, and like Luke has some good theories about the game as well. Like I don't really remember what he said, like because we spoke so long ago, and I don't really want to step on his shoes as well when it comes to the things he said. But it's just been really nice to be able to discuss like somebody who loves this game just as much as I do, which is very, very cool. Reload the weapon. Let's change that to a shotgun now. There. You hear that noise? It means there's people coming up, and I don't want to waste it on anyone just here.
Salad, though. A man like me needs a hefty meal.
You need a Ploughman's, mate. That's what you need. A mince pie, a little bit of cheese, pickled onions, nice lump of bread and butter. Maybe. Booyah. I think I would have got an achievement then if I did that. We'll find out. Anyway, so also what's really, really great are these little TV shows coming here. Now again, I'm not gonna watch them all. I'm just gonna activate them, and that's pretty much it. Reason being is because they are quite fun, but some of them have some really cool stories. Again, some of these stories kind of really tie into the themes and stuff. But the Bright Falls TV series is very cool. I recommend watching when you're playing this game to actually sit and watch them, and then go from there. But we'll go through some of them. Don't worry. At some point, anyway, at least anyway. And yeah, it's just it's so good. I just love this game. The lore of this game is just fantastic.
Simple and as you might think, it can be dangerous and requires
Yeah, no worries.
patience. Even with the engine takes dropping cool. Routes isn't easy and fatal. Mistake don't make. Count your tools before and after. Misplaced tools forgotten in.
Ah, no!
Destroyed. Then rent car.
What? I should have just used the flare gun on him, really. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. He's gone. He's gone. He's done. But yeah, I mean, like, Carl has a bit more, and now there's a bit more lore about him as well, but it's not much. But, like, there's more information about him in the books. Like I said, I'll go through it all eventually, and we'll go from there. And, yeah, there's so much stuff. I mean, obviously, certain things I only ever remember when I'm actually playing the game as well, so I do apologize not knowing stuff. I've spoken about a lot of things. I might repeat myself a few times when it comes to talking about certain stuff as well. Again, my apologies for that. But there's the gas station, so we're nearly there. Nearly there. Now, there's a really... Oh, it's like you right there as far as bonus. Okay, cool. So
I recognized the parade float I had
now,
seen in Bright Falls when I first
the gas
arrived
station.
with Alice.
What happens at the end of this level is that
After
Sheriff
the
Breaker
insanity
fights.
I had just experienced in the darkness, the lights of the gas station felt comforting, at least for a
is
moment.
the truth,
the sane world
which actually
reasserted
happens.
itself.
But she doesn't take you to Cauldron Lake. In fact, when you picked up out of the police station and Barry picks you up, you then go to Cauldron Lake. At that point,
the Deer Fest had been 2 weeks away
yeah,
when
at
we
that
arrived.
point,
If the date came the
that's
banner
when the
was
story
right,
changes slightly.
I
But
was
also on
missing
the
a
way
whole
there,
week between the night we got
Alan,
here and
before
now.
the police turn up, Alan stashes his guns
I had to
in
get
these
inside
bins.
the gas station to find a phone to call for help.
He stashes them in these bins. When he goes past it, he's cool, get me back there, and he picks up the guns, and then he and then they go to Cauldron Lake, and when they go to Cauldron Lake, it's Barry that he shows instead of Thing. That's when they get the realization there. So they obviously changed some things slightly. Now, certain things are kind of wishes canon, like like I say with the van and
garage
stuff.
was a mess.
But
It looked like
obviously
someone
game
had
is the
trashed the
canon
place,
thing.
or that there'd
this
been
is
some
human
kind of fight.
All right. I'll keep writing. Outside there's
I love the
only
fact that they
darkness.
remade the
Outside
scene
the
as well.
cabinet,
It's so
outside
good.
the
The fact
store,
that that
there's
scene
only
is
darkness.
completely all green screen
I
there,
can feel a presence
and a
in the
desk.
dark. Just
But
now,
actually
I could
made
smell the
this for
perfume in the
proper
room.
live action stuff.
I'll reach her. I'll fix it.
Which is just
I'll bring her
so
back. The
so
story
good.
won't come true. If I stop, she's lost.
I don't believe this. It'd been me on the TV, talking crazy. Was I losing my mind?
But I believe, if I'm correct, this is the end of the first chapter. So we're coming up to it. But yeah, like I said, one thing that happens at the end of this is different from the book. And there's not much difference in the book compared to what's going on here. But like I say, one thing is Barry that takes him to Cauldron Lake, not Sheriff Breaker. But this is the bit that's going to come up, okay? So as we're watching this, have a look at where the lake, where the cabin on the lake was. Look at where the bridge ends, and then remember where Alan tripped. Because I promise you, it's the same place, the exact same place. And my theory is, there's no other reason for it. Like, oh, he just fell over. No, why would he fall exactly there? It's because he fell into what was the truth, the reality. He was in the dark place. He exited the dark place through that little pier. That's what happened. He fell from that bridge.
The guy who owns this place?
Also, there's a whole comic book as well about Sarah Breaker's dad, which is very cool. Definitely worth looking into. I just love this game, man. Yeah, so this bit here, right? There you go. Look at his tweed shoulder elbow pads. He's like, huh? What? Go? She's like, yeah, man. It's been gone for like 30 years, 40 years. Come on, dude. Check it out. 1976 it disappeared. Come on now. And then you look where the bridge is. Look at it. Look, look, look. That's where he tripped. Right there. Where it's broken. Where it's broke. That's where he fucking fell over. Because he went into the real world. Right, we're gonna skip this though, because I don't want to get copyright infringements. The soundtrack to this game, oh wow, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, the Poets of the Fall doing their thing. Holy cow, they're incredible. But then like the licensed music they use, oh, it's just so good. Like this game is just wonderful. I just adore it. Now, we could go into the clicker bit. We'll go into that in a bit. And again, I can talk about a bit more about how it was written into it, blah, blah, or maybe that was just Alan finding it and going, haha, or just made this little story up. Or he genuinely just always had the little clicker that Alice never, ever thought to spot. I don't know. I don't know. But we're going to leave it there, guys. I'm going to pause it right there, okay? So we're going to leave it there. So, guys, come back tomorrow. This is going to be every day for the next however long we do it until Alan Wake 2 comes out. Now, when Alan Wake 2 does come out, I will not be able to play it straight away. In fact, I'll be on holiday at the time, so I'm going to be absolutely gutted, to be honest. But we'll talk about that tomorrow as well. Guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of Alan Wake. Give me your theories. I want to hear your theories. I want to see those theories. Because that's going to really help me. It's going to help us do good discussion. So, you know, this is going to be full-blown theory gameplay. That's what it's going to be. It's what I want to do through the entire gameplay. Speak about your theories and stuff. What you know about Alan Wake and stuff as well. So guys, like, share, subscribe. I will reply to every single comment that you put on there as well. Ring the notification bell. We are on 480 people subscribing, so we want to be on 500 by the end of November. I think it's a decent, achievable goal. But guys, have yourself a great one. See you soon. Bye now. Love you lots. Let's do this. There you go.